Hi, this is Dr. Pete Butkins. I'm recording from Orlando, Florida today. We're having 7 deaths a year with overdoses due to Oxycontin alone. We're the #1 state in the country for overdoses. Um, this is September 2011. This is going to change. There's going to be another drug, there's going to be another state, but the drug problem, unless we do something about it, is always going to be here. And my thinking is it's destroying our country. We can do something about it with our own families, with our own kids. That's why I'm writing this or doing this video on warning signs, what to look for if your child is using. I have other videos on YouTube. I have a 7-step model on how to arrest it, what to do, a 7-step model, what to do if they are in trouble. The first thing I want to tell you is probably the most important. Your child, if they are addicted, they're not bad, it's not personal, they're sick. Try to view this from the point of view of someone that has an illness. They're in a sick bed, they have cancer, they need your love, support, and help. They need tough love. They need you to take a stand, be in charge of the family, and do something about it. What you're going to see are warning signs. You're going to see specific signs, and you're going to see general signs. I've divided this this video into 2 different parts. The first is on the general warning signs. The warning signs you're going to see with a child that's using are they're going to avoid contact, they're going to have mood swings that are going to be sometimes rapid, that are different from normal adolescent mood swings. They're going to, if they are using, especially if it's drugs, they're going to be lying, they're going to be cheating, they're going to be stealing. Err on the side of caution. If they are using, this gets to the point where it's not your child anymore. It's another situation where you're losing your child and you have to get your child back. Err on the side of caution. If someone's telling you there's a problem, a drug problem with your child, it's probably true, unless they have a vendetta against you, and I really doubt that that's going on. So heed any advice. Very few people will say something if someone's using because of the fear and complications and the chaos that's involved with all that. So if someone does mention something, it's probably, you should probably take notice of it. What you're also going to see is defiance. Probably the 2 symptoms you're going to see, the 2 warning signs that are most pronounced are defiance, which can be manifested by any type of authority issue. They'll start arguing with you more, they'll help trouble in school, they'll start wearing clothes with patches on them that support marijuana or support a drug or are just anti-something. The other sign you'll see with a child that's not very openly defiant but is covertly defiant, you'll see isolation and withdrawal. That's just as important a sign as the open defiance. And you'll see these manifested in a lot of ways. But in general, if you see a behavior change, you have reason to investigate. And if you see behavior change, write it down, take notes, work with your spouse, work with your partner, and try to get an idea of what you're looking at. The other things to look at in terms of warning signs are peers. If they're hanging around with kids that are older, kids that are known drug users, kids that are suspect, kids that are from homes where the parents may be using, kids that are dropouts, those are huge red flags, and you want to pay attention to those. The other sign you look for, especially with sedatives, is apathy. You'll see them not caring that much about school, they'll drop out of sports, they may give up a hobby. So these are some warning signs that are fairly general. You kind of see these general signs along the way. There are some very specific behavior changes. These have to do with noticeable behaviors that are very obvious. Weight loss, weight gain. Hygiene becomes bad. You'll see the sleep patterns interrupted. There'll be fatigue. Maybe sleeping a lot. You might see more illness. That's another sign that's pretty obvious. What's obvious also is staggered, slurred speech, a staggered walk. You'll see them come in a little bit later and they'll go to their room, they won't say hi, they'll quit greeting you. The relationship will change with you, the parents, and you'll be starting to lose your child. And don't let this happen. Intervene with love. You'll also see the pupils will be small, they could be larger, they could be dilated. You're going to see Symptoms such as breath mints. They may start chewing gum that has an odor. That means they're trying to cover up an odor. You may smell unusual odors. You may smell pot, or you may smell alcohol, something like that. But in general, these are specific signs that you'll see. Paraphernalia is also kind of obvious. You'll see pipes. You might see hookahs or bongs, they call them. You might see pill bottles. Oxycontin's real big now. The pill mills are real big. Crystal meth is big. Not so much in Florida, more in Missouri, Mississippi states, but it does come down here. You also see other pills, OxyContin. You'll see problems with hydrocodone. You'll see problems with other pills. You may not know what they are, but if you see, if your pills are missing, or if you see your child with pill bottles, that's a very high red flag. And the most important thing, again, is don't ignore this. It does not go away by itself. You really have to get an idea of the extent of the problem now that you're beginning to recognize it. If you do spot the problem, call a professional. If you do decide that it's a problem you want to address, call a professional, get some help. Remember, there's a phenomenon called denial, where no one wants this in the family, so it's very difficult to take care of it. There's a lot of shame associated with it until you get educated and learn that it's not weak-willed, immoral, or a psychological phenomenon. It's such as a holistic phenomenon. It's biopsychosocial, spiritual. It affects all areas of the person's life, and they may be using because of any of those areas. But the important thing is seek a professional, get help with this. It's very treatable. It's highly treatable, but the family has to be intact and work as a team to do something about this. Get a good therapist and do what they say. Thanks very much for listening. I have 7 other videos on YouTube that outline my model. And also, these warning signs are listed on allaboutaddiction.net, allaboutaddiction.net, and at the top you'll see a menu, and there'll be a prompt for warning signs. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was helpful. Doc Pete Butkins. Bye-bye now.